In our motion regarding demonstrative evidence, we were talking specifically about, for lack of a better phrase, a dollhouse, a not to scale construction, a 3D model of the residence itself. And as the court can see from the materials that have been submitted, the configuration of this house is unusual at best. Certainly we can use diagrams and floor plans, which we did at the grand jury. But it struck us as we were looking at this case that it would be particularly helpful for the trial jury to actually be able to see in a 3D sense how everything's laid out, what is on each floor, where the bedrooms are, how the first
Well, for
floors.
it to be demonstrative evidence, what's important is whether it explains the testimony of somebody on the stand and helps the jury understand it in relation to the testimony. The concept of a demonstrative exhibit is that it's actually part of their testimony.
Yes, Your Honor, that's exactly what I was getting at. What we contemplate is the witnesses being able to use this demonstrative evidence to demonstrate where they were, where the rooms of their roommates were, where the entries to the residence were, what they observed, and where everything was located. So it's not intended as a standalone exhibit that has significance. It's only a tool for the witnesses, not just the roommates, but the responding officers, the officers who investigated the crime scene, to point out to the jury where in this three-story structure certain things were that they observed. And so that is our intent on this. We initially contemplated offering a two-scale model, and the defense, I think rightfully so, said, okay, well, give us the background information and data that would be relied on. And we requested that, and for whatever reasons, we didn't get it quickly. But as we revisited it, we realized that to scale maybe is not what we want. We just want a demonstrative exhibit that witnesses can use, much the same as a sketch, or if they would take a flip pad and try to draw things to help illustrate their testimony to the jury. So that's where we ended up here. We look at the balancing test under 403 as far as relevance. We believe this will be helpful to witnesses and explain to the jury and to the jury in understanding witnesses' testimony. As far as prejudicial effect, the state doesn't perceive any significant prejudicial effect. Now, I realize that the expert witness for the defendant talks about jurors misinterpreting angles of view and stuff. Well, that would be true if we were dealing with a two-scale exhibit, and the defense is welcome to offer their 3D imaging or whatever it is that they want, if they want to have a two-scale presentation. That's not our intent, though. Our intent is just simply to have this as a tool to help witnesses explain their testimony and help the jury understand.
And I think you understand this, but so that, it's clear. If it allowed as a demonstrative exhibit, it's not an exhibit in the sense that it goes to the jury. When they deliberate, it will not go back with them.
Yes, we completely understand that. We intend this to be something in the courtroom that is physical, that the jury can look at and the witness can look at and point to things so the jurors have the most complete understanding of what their testimony is.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know how visible it will be to, you've seen now where we're going to be, how visible it's going to be to the jury from where it would be presented. So I guess if I allow, we'll have to cross that bridge.
And that's understood. The last communication we had earlier this week, Your Honor, from the folks at the FBI is that it might be finished within the next 10 days. I'll be candid. I had proposed to the FBI, let us get this in front of the court and get a preliminary ruling from the court before you spend the effort to construct it, but they went ahead and started anyway. So that's neither here nor there. It is intended, as you can see from State's Exhibit 1 or S1 with the dimensions in there. It's a fairly significant size, 35 by 48 by 52 inches. So the idea of making it big enough so the jurors can see it's out in the floor in the well, and they can actually see how things are constructed and arranged. It can take apart floor by floor so they can see each floor individually and then how they are stacked back together. So that's the purpose, to assist witnesses in explaining their testimony and assist jurors in understanding the testimony.